Let's just all take a breath together. And I just want to thank you guys. Last week, somehow I got on mute. Maybe it was an unstable connection, and you guys were staying there, even though I was like couldn't talk, and it was just really sweet. So, just want to acknowledge everybody here and acknowledge our nervous systems that perceive what they perceive, and we all perceive differently. So when I look on the screen, my nervous system is different than when you look on the screen, right? And when I'm teaching, it's definitely different than when I'm not teaching. So I'm going to invite us to feel our bodies and maybe choose 3 parts that are connected to the earth. So any 3, just kind of notice. You can have your eyes open or closed. And choose one of them to focus on, of those 3. And just notice the weight that's connected with the earth. I'm going to continue kind of the last class and really bringing in self-compassion as a resource today. And the last class was more on the neck and shoulders, kind of like the bridge between our head and our body. And so focusing on that spot, and you can change it if you want to. And of course, anything is up for grabs of what you want to do, you choose. And if you want to move, you move. And I'll just guide us so you don't have to listen to what I say. So if you'd like to breathe, and from that breath, turn over to the right and just kind of get a baseline of how far you're looking, of what you're noticing. And as you're looking, just kind of notice that spot that you chose connected to the earth. And noticing what is in your space, maybe something that you really like. And it could also be something that you like a little bit. And beautiful. And then we'll come back to center. And just notice what the nervous system has that registered. And is there more safety from looking over? And can we just bring some self-compassion, like how we would treat someone that we loved, a pet, a child, a really good friend? And from this place, find that spot. Maybe it's changing the spot that's connected with the earth, and we'll look over the other side. And as we look over, just notice how far you're looking and notice the weight that is connected to the earth. Maybe noticing a shape, a color, one that you like and one that you kind of like. And we'll come back to center. Take your time and allow yourself to breathe. And then can you widen the peripheral vision without moving? Just kind of notice what's around you. And remember what did you see to the right, to the left? And let's just look up and down, just noticing how our neck is this morning, looking up and looking down when you're ready. Maybe taking in again shapes and colors, sounds. And I invite us to, like a snow globe, imagine like inside our bodies, there are like little sparkles. Maybe it's the blue stars. And so as we move, you know how they take a really long time to move from one place to the other? So just kind of as we move, let's just do a little movement of the spine. So inhaling and exhaling your way, just heart forward. The head can come back any amount, and then coming back. And then imagine like you've got those sparkles or stars or lights in your body. And as you move, let them move, and you can move any way you want to. Let them find places that may be a little tight. So you're welcome to come forward and back. You could move side to side as well. You can allow the stars or the little glowing lights inside you to just kind of move you in any direction right now. And if you need to go faster, you go faster. Beautiful. So come back to center when you're ready. And we're going to do something that's a little tricky. We're going to turn our head to the right. Just turn your head to the right. So just turn our head to the right, look to the right, and then come back. That wasn't tricky, but the next part is very tricky. And let's turn your head and then come back. All right, so now we're going to turn our head to the right, but look to the left. So turn your head to the right, but look to the left, and then coming back. And I'm going to turn our head to the left, but look to the right. And breathe. And then come back. And then if you feel dizzy, you can do less, take it slow. So we're going to look up, but bring our head down. So eyes up, but bring your head down. It's really hard for me. And then come back to center. You can just do a tiny little bit if it feels weird. And then eyes down, but look up. And then come back to center. Okay. Now, just notice how that feels in your system. And again, kind of bring in the peripheral vision. Take your right hand on the left side of your neck. Just kind of massage it. And as you're doing that, look over toward the left. Keep massaging your head, your neck. And then coming back, bring your head back. And then again, just look over to the left and massage your neck. And coming back. Good. And then just remembering the snow globe, remembering your what you sense on the ground, peripheral vision. And we'll do the other side. So left hand on the outside of the right side of the neck. And just notice, is it tensing? And with compassion, let's massage it while you look over to the right. And then bring it back to center. And massage it as you look over to the right. And bring it back to center. And just welcoming all the parts of us, any feelings. You can always come back to the resource. Just keep bringing in resources. Okay, and the next part, if you're sitting, maybe you want to switch the cross of your legs if you're sitting crossed. It's going to take your left hand out like you're holding a tray or something. And we'll take your right hand under the left clavicle left collarbone. Massage it under. It feels a little weird. This really helps soften the shoulders. While you're massaging under the left clavicle, let's just move your hand from side to side. This is from Tint Yoga. I'm taking a lot of these ideas from Tint. And just kind of opening and closing as you massage. And maybe like you're receiving something with your hand. And just kind of notice, bring your hands down. Notice if one shoulder feels different than the other. And then we'll do the other side. So I'm taking my right hand out like I'm receiving, maybe like you're holding something beautiful, a gift. Maybe a gift has come into your hand. And left hand under the clavicle, just massaging that as you move from side to side. And maybe there's something that can soften a little bit more, remembering one of those places in the earth that are connected to the earth. And any sound that wants to release. What does that feel like to hear that or in your own nervous system? And then just come back to center, eyes open or closed. Just notice how you feel. And let's just massage the face or any parts of your body. So I'd like to put my hand by the back of my head where my primitive brain is. Just kind of letting it know it's okay. It doesn't have to go into freeze, fight or flight right now. And touching maybe the prefrontal cortex, letting it know it could be online. And maybe massaging the face, any parts of it again, letting your fingers be really intuitive. It's nice to massage the bones, the cheekbones, right on the forehead, the temples, the jaw. With a lot of love. Great. And then from there, if you like, we'll come onto all fours. Trying not to yell here. And let me know if you hear me okay. Okay. So hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, if you like. And we'll just take a little cat-cow. So inhaling head up, belly down, exhaling round. And again, like imagining the snow globe. So let it go slow. And then we'll move from side to side. So right ear to right hip. And left ear to left hip. And then let's take it in a circle. So head up, belly down. Right ear to right hip. Tucking your tail. Left ear to left hip. And we'll go in the other direction. So tucking your tail. Right ear to right hip. Head up, belly down, widening the sitting bones. And then left ear to left hip. And then if there's any sense of embarrassment or shame, I've been working a lot with that. Let's just remember that if that's happening at all, that's just common a human emotion, and that we're not alone in that. And coming back into a child pose, if you're standing up, you can also just stretch. If you have a chair, you can stretch and keep your legs straight. If you're sitting in a chair, you can bring your head down and maybe tucking your toes if you're like on the floor or on your bed, and stretch through the toes. And we did this last time with our jaw. Just kind of like feel your jaw here. We'll get ready maybe to do a lion pose in a little bit. Just kind of moving the jaw around. I feel weird. Let's come on up, yeah, onto your knees. If you're sitting in a chair, that's fine. And then just take your hands behind you and opening up any amount. And can you soften your head and your hand? And then coming back down to a child pose, resting your head, or maybe extending your arms forward. Keep your tush up and feel like you're opening up your underarms. Maybe come into your fingertips and then soften your heart down. So feeling a nice stretch in the shoulders. You can do this high up on a chair or on a piece of furniture. And then we'll come into, if you like, we'll take a little lion pose. So we're just going to come forward, like rounding forward, and feel your claws. And we'll stick your tongue out and maybe make a roar. Ha! You can have your eyes looking up. You can make any sound. I'm going to make a sound, so just notice how that resonates in your nervous system. So, ha! Just letting anything go. You can lower the volume if you don't like that. And let's just come back, settle back into a child pose or a downward dog. And I want to invite you to make any sounds and do that lion anytime during the rest of this segment. So you can rest in a child pose or come into a downward dog. Stretch it out. You can also stretch on a chair. Just kind of stretch it out here. Good. And so wherever you are, you can do this next part standing. I'm going to be on the floor. Last week we did it standing. Let's take your left foot forward and right knee back. And if you're on the floor, so fully standing, it's great to do it. And if you're on the floor, maybe put something under your knee so you feel nice and soft under your knee. And we'll take your right hand down and left arm up. And then maybe take that hand behind your head, again, feeling support in the back of your head. And you can play with your elbow coming closer or wider apart and opening up any amount. And just does your neck feel a little bit more open now or not? Maybe yes, maybe no. And then coming back up to center. You can be standing or on your knees. We'll do the other side. So left hand toward the left hip, right arm up and over toward the left, a side stretch here. And if you're standing or on your knees, tuck your tail a little and you can feel here the right psoas, where we hold a lot of stress. And then take the hand behind you again, maybe opening up any amount here, resting the head in the hand. And then coming back, so you're either standing, sitting, on your knees. You're going to take your hands out like goalposts. And maybe make a fist like a symbol of our ability to use our resources. And from here, take the elbows in slightly and open up and feel the strength of the back body like you've got your own back. You can stay here or stretch the arms up. You can also take the hand behind the head. And breathing. And let's do the other side. So we can take a little stretch to switch sides. I'm going to do a downward dog. Maybe come through a plank pose. Maybe just kind of rock from side to side. And then the left foot comes forward. Left hand down, right arm comes up to the sky. And imagine your legs coming toward each other, again, as a symbol of the foundation of the support that we have to then open up and take your hand behind the head, opening up any amount. Breathing here. And then we'll switch sides. Right hand toward the right, left arm up and over. You can take your hand on the head behind you and really take this as an opportunity to soften that head and the neck and the jaw. And you can take a lion pose anytime. You can, anytime you want to here today. Opening up any amount, maybe tucking your tail a little bit as you take this little bit over to the right, feeling the left psoas muscle and other hip muscles. And then coming back to center, we can do the goal post. You can make a fist if you like, feeling strength. Bring the elbows slightly in, hands slightly out to feel the back body. You can take your arms up, have them behind your head, opening up here. Beautiful. And then from here, just stretch it out. Maybe come up a little higher. Stretch it out here. Bend your knees. From here, we'll just come into a wide straddle here. Face you. And we'll just come down, just come into like a goddess pose here. Just do like a standing pose, again, feeling the earth, and find 3 places again that are connected to the earth. You can do this in your chair as well. And then choose one of those places. And then let's again focus on the back body so we can have the elbows come in a little bit, arms out a little bit. Sit down as much as you want and breathe. So we're going to create a little bit of tension here, but breathing through it. And then maybe lifting your heels up. Maybe not. Good. And then soften that. And let's just flow over. Take a stretch. You can use something in front of you and stretch that out. You can bend one knee and then the other. Feeling strong back. And toe heel your feet a little bit closer together. You can keep the knees soft. Bring your hands on your hips and come on up in a strong back. Shake it out. And let's just take your arms out and give yourself a hug. Give yourself a nice hug here. And then if you like, we can take that to, if your left arm is over the right, let's say, you can take this up to like an eagle, where you have your forearms toward each other or your hands toward each other. And if you like, take the right leg over the left, right leg over the left. You can balance on the left leg. You can bring your, squeeze your legs together. And then from here, just kind of from the stability here, squeeze the legs together as a symbol of ability to use our own resources, self-compassion, support of the earth, ability to just kind of be aware of where we are in space. So we can see multiple perspectives. From a sense of clarity, and then open up. Just notice how the shoulders feel, shake it out. And let's do the other side. So left leg over right, sitting on the chair is perfect. Your arms out, either take a nice hug and just giving yourself that support, containment, or left arm under right now. So left arm under right and squeezing, maybe balancing. Just being really still in the stillness today. Breathing. And then let it go. Shake it out. And let's bring ourselves down to the ground. You can take your arms out. You can have your hand behind your head. And sitting down in a squat, and you kind of decide how far down to go. And then the hands behind your head, you can choose how close you want your elbows to be. Opening up through the heart as you sit down, any amount towards your heels. You can lift your heels or not, and then take your hands forward, and we'll bring ourselves all the way to the floor, your way. Maybe coming all the way down, come down any way you like, and then we'll come onto the ground. So you can come lying down. We'll have a nice little moment before we rest. So allow yourself to come all the way on your back if you like, and maybe just bring your knees into the chest and rock from side to side if you're on your back. Good. And then just have your feet on the ground, your arms out like goalposts again. And we're going to take your knees over to the right, but let's use the strength of the belly. So as you come on over, really feel the belly, and then take your one knee comes toward the ground, but using the belly, and then the other. And then just kind of come on over to a place that feels really comfortable. If you want to, you can shift your hips more to the left, knees to the right, and just again find the earth beneath you. And then you can take your left arm out like a snow angel along the floor. And it's nice to bend the elbow. So if you bend the elbow, just notice if there's more space in the shoulder joint. And can you really soften into the earth? And let's go to the other side. So coming back, and from your belly first, can you bring your knees over to one side using the strength of the belly? And then maybe shifting the hips a bit to the right and coming on over to the left in a comfortable position. And if you're sitting, just turn your torso to the right. And just notice the difference of the sides. And what else can you do to make yourself more comfortable? Maybe putting a block between your knees. So if you're sitting, you can just shift your body to the right. And again, using your elbows. You can move your arms in any way. Good. And then when you're ready, you'll just bring your knees back into the chest. Lying down or sitting up. If you're sitting up, maybe cross your right leg over the left, or take your right foot over the left thigh. And if you're lying down, you can do that as well. Just breathe into the hips there. So if you're on your back, you could keep your foot down, your left leg down, or bring your knee in any amount. You're welcome to rock from side to side. And again, find those 3 points that you chose. Maybe there are new points. And choose one to focus on. Remembering the snow globe as you move. Can it be even slower or maybe faster? And then let's do the other side. So left foot on top of right thigh. Any amount you could move, you could bring your knee in closer towards you. And then take any movement that you'd like, anything you need for yourself before we close the class. So maybe another hug, any stretch, anything you feel like you didn't get to do that you need. Any breath. And so allowing ourselves, if you like, for this last few minutes to just soften and maybe remember what's to your side, what's to the right side, what's to the left side, without looking, what's above you, what's below you. And creating your boundary of energy within you and around you. So if you want to choose a color of a boundary, if you want to add the snow globe energy around you, any amount, you're welcome to do that. If you want to make any more sounds, you're welcome to do that. And just honoring your own nervous system response. And then I'll be quiet and let us be a little in our own energy field for a few moments. And if your body needs to move or be still, just honor it. Before we come to back up to sitting, and you can stay where you are. Maybe just give yourself another little hug or a little massage. Could rock from side to side if you're on your back. If you'd like to come up to sitting, you're welcome to do that. If you are lying down, sitting, you're welcome to do that. And we'll just end by chanting together an Om. And um, and then if anybody wants to share, welcome to do that too. So we'll just end together in a sound. So inhaling. Thank you so much for being here for this practice. The light in me sees the light in you.